Hello everybody, it's me Nate aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another game review. Don't worry people, I've been out and about and I've been cranking away filming my movie. That's why my last video was my buddy Dead Man Bones on here. Don't worry, I'm not leaving, my channel's staying here. But this is me Nate aka Devil Dog, back with a game review of The Crew Motorfest. Now this is a review of the PS5 version, and it was developed by Ubisoft Ivory Tower and published by Ubisoft and released on September 14th of 2023 for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox One X, and S. And it is a direct sequel to the 2018 The Crew 2 game, and this time you're set on the island of Hawaii. As you start out, you get to create a character with a pretty bare bones, kind of lame character creation system. I appreciate the fact they have something in here. It can sort of make somebody look somewhat okay, but once again, this is another one of those games that tries to be cool and awesome with their characters that are trying to play over the top, and fortunately it's not that bad. You could get past it once it get past the rather large tutorial section that you go through, but once you get through that, the game opens up and it has a lot of content to offer. Now let me read you a synopsis of what they say about this game. Welcome to Motorfest. Get your ticket for an all-year-round festival designed for all car enthusiasts on the beautiful island of Oahu. Celebrate all the facts of car culture, including the playlists, a series of short thematic campaigns offering unique and exciting car culture experiences. Each one is carefully designed to immerse you in a different car culture, universe, and tailored races, themes, and events, and other unique experiences. Motorfest from The Crew. Honestly, I will have to say, hands down, this is actually a pretty decent game. I've been playing through a lot of it, and it's actually pretty well done. One thing I will say right now, this is another one of these online-only games, and if you have a weak internet signal or you lose your internet, you'll get kicked out of the game immediately. So that kind of sucks. There is no single-player mode on this game. You have to be online at all times. But I understand, because it's kind of like a living, breathing world with the amount of different things they have. The different modes alone actually stand out and are pretty unique. When you first start up, you have a list of 3 different difficulties you can pick to actually make it easier or harder for you as you go through the game. But like I said, it is online only, but it consists of, first of all, is playlist, which pretty much is 15 different missions and stuff you can do throughout the game that focus on everything from different kind of vehicles, including classic vintage vehicles, even something known as Donut Media, like this group for Donut Media, supercars, F1 cars, dune buggies, off-road racers, motorcycles, and more. And if you played the original 2 games, you'll know that The Crew is actually got a pretty cool thing, at least in the second one, where at any time you could press the R1 stick and bring up a menu to swap in between either being a car, a plane, or a boat at any time. Because this game doesn't just have vehicle racing, it also has plane racing and boat races as well. So it is a rather well-built machine, so to say, no pun intended. And the overall world of being on Hawaii, the level, while it's not exact photorealistic, it's nowhere near the size, it's still grassly vast and open. It allows you to do a lot of stuff that it doesn't actually lock you onto a track. Where there is a lot of track racing parts, there's a lot of part that is free roam, where you, like especially in the open area, you can just drive and do whatever the heck you want. There's stuff you can do, like meet up for like photo shoots, different missions and stuff like that. But the other thing, other than the playlist, is also something known as the main stage. It's kind of sort of the main meat of the bones of this, and it's themed differently each month, where they change up the theme, which is cool, where you actually go through these different stage timelines and fill them up by actually doing different races and stuff in order to unlock the legendary mode. And when you do that, you get like some really cool limited time rewards. So if you're big into like different vehicles, different skins, stuff like that. By doing this, you can unlock quite a lot of content. There is quite a lot of stuff in this game. And the other thing I thought was actually kind of stupid at first, and still I started playing it, and I fell in love with it, is something known as Custom Show. Now, this is kind of like what you think. Each week, you get to customize your car and try to tweak it out and be the most wildest, raddest vehicle in the market. And other real players will vote on in the world real time on the best vehicle, and you can win some pretty really cool rewards. Honestly, I found myself actually enjoying that a lot more than I thought I would. I was astounded by the fact that when my internet was staying stable, just how much fun I actually had with this game. Now, like I said, the moment you lose your internet, boom, it kicks you out. So if you're in the middle of a match and you're kicking butt, you can lose a lot of progression really easily just by the fact of the game crashing. It does have a pretty decent auto save, and honestly, the visual fidelity is pretty good. The lip sync is a little chunky, as I call it. It's not bad, but it's still chunky. The graphics are good. I am playing on a PS5. I did not try it on the PS4, so I'm not really sure how much more visual fidelity you lose. When you first boot it up on the PS5, it does offer you the option of either doing a fidelity mode or a performance mode. Fidelity is higher frame rate, and the other performance mode is basically visual graphics, more bells and whistles, higher resolution, stuff like that. Like I said, I went for the locked-in 60 plus frames a second, and I didn't really have any problems other than some cutscenes that kind of slowed down. But other than that, the actual gameplay itself was super buttery smooth. I did notice very vaguely you could see it in the background, and not that often, but it does have some geometry pop in. Some of the trees textures pop in, but it's from a pretty far distance away to where I don't think a normal person who's playing a game is even going to notice it. I notice it because I'm just a nitpicky a-hole, but honestly, visually it's quite well. When playing it in the performance mode of the high frame rate, I didn't have any issues with it. The cars all handle somewhat similar though. I will say this, that's one thing always about the crew games, is they're almost on the arcadey style. They're not really on the simulation style. So you will have different mechanics and different overall feeling of each vehicle, and none of them were really unique in any way other than the fact of figuring out, okay, this one's brakes don't work as good as the other ones. So honestly, like I said, this is more of an arcadey aspect. I mean, after all, let's be honest, anytime you're playing the game, you can hit a button and turn into a plane and fly thousands of feet in the air, and then turn into a boat and fall 1,000 feet into the water, and you're perfectly fine. So it's not a realistic game. It never, the Cruise series has never been realistic. But honestly, for what you get with this, you get a lot of content. Visually, it's very visually appealing. It plays well. All the different vehicles do handle different. Like I said, this isn't a simulation, so if you're expecting massive stuff like, say, Gran Turismo in terms of the different feeling of each vehicle, it's not going to have that. Actually, the PS5 had decent haptic feedback, but I will say the haptic feedback on the controller really wasn't that good for this. It seemed kind of toned down and lame. I wish it would be a little bit more beefy. You do feel it when you're changing gears. You could feel the trigger's pressure kick back, but it's not as strong as I think it should be. But other than that, I would have to say I actually do like this game. I think it is better than the second one. And honestly, for the overall price, this is a full price game of $70. Now keep in mind, if you're on PS4 and Xbox One, you're going to pay $70 for this, okay? But if you happen to be one of the lucky people out there who have a PS5 or an Xbox Series X and S, same price, $70, $69.95. And honestly, in this particular case, this is one game that I would say I'd recommend you play on the current gen systems and not the last gen system. I don't know what the overall fidelity of the PC version is. I have heard some good things and bad things about it, but I really don't know, so I can't really say my personal opinion on that. But if you figure roughly this game will take you about 30 hours to get through it, and a plus 50 plus hours if you're a completionist wanting to get everything, honestly, for the amount of fun you have with this, be able to go online and play these games and be able to do stuff in a really vibrant open world of Hawaii, having a good time with everything from VW Bug buses all the way up to McLarens and everything else. Honestly, visually, it's quite appealing. It's a fun playing game. Keep in mind, like I said before, it's an arcadey style game, much like the other Crews were. And if you could get past the somewhat mildly cringy characters at the beginning of the game as they talk you through this endeavor of playing this game, if you can get past that, it itself is actually structurally a pretty decent game, and I have to actually say I can recommend it. If you actually happen to have $70 that you're willing to spend on a racing title, and you don't mind an arcadey feel, I can actually recommend the Crew Motorfest. I really can. It's not bad. I've had a lot of good fun with it. Honestly, for the minimum of 30 hours up to 50 plus, it's well worth the investment. And that's you can still keep playing the game even after you've topped out and got all the trophies if you want to. But that's just my own personal opinion. Please leave in the comments below if you've actually played the Crew Motorfest, if you agree or disagree with me on this review. Is there anything I missed in telling you in this title? Please give me a thumbs up if you like this. Leave lots of comments for me to answer them. And of course, here at Devil Dog Gaming, we always end our videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.